What's up, guys? Megan here with WeRempowerment, and today I actually wanted to talk about 3 ways to practice presence. And if this is directly from Eckhart Tolle's book, The Power of Now. If you haven't read this book, I really highly suggest it. It's been one of my favorites, and it's a pretty easy read. It's not a very big book. Also, if you like this content, please hit the subscribe button for me and give me a like. I appreciate it. All right, so getting into it. 3 ways to practice presence. Now, this is directly from this book, and I might read a couple of lines from it just in case, but 3 ways to practice presence. The first one is to be the witness of your thoughts, and I really like the way that he explains it, because I feel like it's getting straight to the point, we are not our thoughts, right? We're awareness. We're the awareness behind our thoughts. When we can sit in that seat of being able to be the observer of our thoughts, we start to create a gap between thought and our true self. So the number one thing is to be the watcher of your thoughts. Now, in this book, he says, when you listen to that voice, listen to it impartially. That is to say, do not judge. Do not judge or condemn what you hear, for doing so would mean that same voice has come in through the back door. You'll soon realize there's that voice. And here I am listening to it, watching it. This I am realization, this sense of your own presence, is not a thought. It arises from beyond the mind. So what is he trying to say? He's trying to say that if you just sit in as the watcher and just watch, don't try to control. The problem is that people, I think, misinterpret sometimes, and they try to control their thoughts like they shouldn't have thoughts. And that's not what Eckhart's trying to say. What he's trying to say is you should observe your thoughts as they pass by. So that would be the first one, is every time a thought arises is to just observe it. And every time you do, little by little, you're transcending the ego. You're turning it into presence. And it gets deeper and deeper and deeper the more that it goes on. So that's the first one, is to try it. You can try it right now if you want. Pause this video and try it. Okay. The next one is to create a gap in the mind stream by directing your focus into the now. So every time you have a thought, just shift it back to the present moment and focus intently on what you're doing in the present moment. Like right now, I'm focused on the camera. I'm not focused on what's going on in the future. I'm not focused on what's going on in the past. I'm just focused on the camera and making a video right now. That's all I'm focused on. But if I have some thought in my mind that says I'm not good enough, I'm going to just shift it back to the present moment again and again and again. And the more I do that, the more I'm creating a little gap. It might be this big at first, but gradually it's going to get bigger and bigger and bigger. And you're going to see that you're going to have less of those thoughts. So that would be the number 2 thing, is just to intently stay in the present moment as much as possible. And anytime that a thought arises, don't judge it. Don't try to label it. Don't try to condemn yourself for having a thought. Just shift it back to the present moment. And even if it's every 2 seconds, keep doing it again and again and again. And you'll see that you'll start to feel a peace within yourself. Now, the last one is to direct your focus onto something other than thought. Now, this one can be really, really helpful as well. If you do any breath work, that's what they're doing. That's what the Buddhists teach a lot, is breath work and putting your attention on your breath every time thought arises, because you can't have thoughts without, or you can't have a breath and have thought at the same time. It just doesn't work. If you try it, you'll notice that every time you take in a deep breath, you can't have obsessive thinking. So if you choose to use this one, I would recommend using the breath for a little while. And then once you start to dissolve the ego, you can let go of the breath after a little bit of time. I've done this in the past and it's worked really, really well for me. So the other 2 options would be the body or sound. Anything that's going to get you out of the mind is a great anchor for you. So if you want, you can put your focus on your hands, and the more that you do this, the more you're taking attention away from thoughts and putting your consciousness onto something else. So you're putting it onto your hands, and the more, maybe it's just one hand at first, and then two, and then gradually it becomes the whole body, and you just feel amazing because you have gone from manifested to unmanifested, and you are just within yourself, right? Or you could be imagining the sounds around you, or you could be observing the sounds around you. Any sound, like the fan, sound of the birds outside. You could stare at a tree for a little while. When you stare at something else that is live but not moving, it just kickstarts something in you, and you're able to relate to it on a different level. So that's also another part of directing your focus onto something other than thought. The whole goal is to get out of thought. That's Eckhart's, style of teaching. So these are the 3 ways that I have to practice presence. Now, on top of this, just as like a tip, if you're not meditating every day, I do recommend that you meditate every day, because what it's going to do is it's going to help you stay in the present moment. Even if at first it doesn't feel like it's doing anything, it does help calm the mind down. And then these 3 tips are good for throughout the day. So even if you don't meditate, or you're not meditating all day like a Buddha, you can still remain present all day just by using these techniques, and they work anywhere. The only thing is that our mind, for whatever reason, thinks that if we don't think obsessively, that our life is going to fall apart, and that's not the case at all. What's going to happen is things are going to start to get better. We just need to try to slowly use these things one by one, and you will notice that your life will start to change in ways that you could never imagine. So that's the 3 tips that I have, the 3 ways to practice presence that I have for you today. If you do like this video, please, like I said, hit the subscribe button, smash it gently, tap it lightly, whatever. I don't know what else to say. All right, guys, I'll talk to you later. One love, peace.